I started using almond oil about 8 months ago, and right away I noticed that my skin felt more supple. I am 60 and I've noticed that, my skin is getting thinner, it's crepier. It just didn't have that body, if you will, that it had when I was younger, and I know that that's to be expected, but immediately when I started using the almond oil, my skin just felt so much healthier. Of course, that encouraged me to keep using it, and it just kept getting better. After using it for some months, I started to notice that the crepiness of my skin seemed to be getting better. And at first I thought I was just imagining it, but over time, I don't think I'm imagining it. I'm going to give you one example, and that is when I'm at the gym and I'm using the elliptical machine, and I'm on the machine and here I am, I'm doing the elliptical, and you can see what's happening right now. Not only are my triceps flapping back and forth, but on the up flap right here, the skin looked so crepey. So to add insult to injury, not only are my triceps flapping back and forth, but I can see this crepiness in my skin. And now I can't even make it happen anymore. It's so funny. I don't think I'm imagining it. I think that the almond oil is definitely helping the crepiness of my skin. Now, full disclosure, my skin still has crepiness, but it is so much less crepey. Not just, here in the example I gave you, the tops of my knees are less crepey. Right here, this is why I kind of wore this sleeveless top, if I could demonstrate, my skin is less crepey. Now you can see it's still a little bit crepey right here, but it's so much less. I need some muscle tone, clearly, but my skin is so much less crepey. And here in my elbow, I can still get it to look crepey, but not nearly as much. Now, the sad thing is I don't have before and after photos. And the reason is because I didn't start using almond oil to reduce crepey skin. I started to use almond oil because it's an all natural product. I am an earth mama, hippie chick at heart, and I have been interested in natural products and natural foods as long as I can remember. I'm always trying to reduce the chemicals that I'm putting in my body through food or on my body through my cosmetics or moisturizers, and how I clean my home and all of those things. I was attracted to the almond oil because it is a 100% pure, unscented moisturizing oil. Look at the ingredients. Pure almond oil. Also, this brand now, and this is not a sponsored video, but this brand is non-GMO. It's not organic, but it is non-GMO, and it is expeller pressed and hexane free, and that is important. If you want to try this, make sure that your oil is expeller pressed and hexane free, because even in pure oils, the extraction process can add chemicals to the oil. I used to get this brand at Whole Foods. I couldn't find it there now, so I don't know what's happened, but I was able to get this on Amazon, and it was a very low price. It was somewhere between like $10 and $15. I will link it below. In any case, I started using this oil because it was natural, and over time I just kept seeing my skin getting better and better and better. One of the reasons why you might not want to use an oil is because it's oily. And that's true, but you can work around that, and you need to use a little common sense. I'll start with a little bit of common sense first. One, you probably already know this, but if you get oil on the bottom of your shower or your tub floor, it can be so slippery and downright dangerous. So you need to be really careful about that. In my case, I have a basket weave marble in the floor of my shower, so it's not all that slippery, but I don't know what the oil is going to do to the grout, if it's going to stain it, and how to get it out, and I don't want to find out. So I just try not to get it on my shower floor. Also, I would not go put my best silk blouse on right after oiling my body up with almond oil. So you do have to use a little common sense, but what I do is I use the almond oil right when I'm out of the shower, which is when I would use a regular moisturizer anyway. I use it either wet or dry. And if I'm going to use it wet, I just put it on after my shower. If I have some time, I'll just kind of leave it on and let it sit there for a few minutes, and I'll brush my teeth or do something else. And if I don't have time, I'll just go straight to the next step, which is I kind of buff it out. And I use these little claws. I get them at Marshall's or some other discount store. They're just little washcloths, and I just take it and I just kind of buff my skin with it. And what this does is it just sort of gets the excess oil off, and you get the added benefit of some exfoliation. And if you want a little bit more exfoliation, you can get the towels that have a little bumpy texture on it like this. And then I can usually just get dressed right after that. Or if I want to get dried first, I go ahead, I dry myself off, and then put the oil on, and then do the same thing, let it sit if I've got some time, or I'll go straight to the buffing and I use either a dry cloth then, or I get the cloth wet and warm, and then it's really luxurious. You just kind of buff your skin off. You've got, damp, oiled skin and a wet cloth, and you can really buff and give your skin a nice little spa treatment at home. I have not noticed any oil stains on my clothes. I do use these cloths for that, and then I let them dry before I wash them, but I've also not noticed any oil stains coming out of the washer or anything like that. If your skin is already dry, or you're finding that you're not able to get the oil on fast enough before your skin dries too much, I want to share another little tool that I found. I got this on Amazon. This is a great little sprayer. I use this all the time. Any beauty product that you're going to use should be applied to damp skin, right? So it's hard sometimes because shoot, my face is drying out and all of that, but this little guy, it's a sprayer. I don't know if you can see that. It's a light mist. And you don't have to keep pumping it. It's like magic. I will provide a link to this little gem below. Also, this is kind of embarrassing to admit, but I'm going to do it just in case anyone else is doing this. I was putting moisturizer or oil when I first started using the oil, when I was putting it on my arms, just going like this. And then, if there's any traces left, I was putting it on the underside of my arm. I have since dedicated a little squirt to the underside of my arm, and that I think has made a really big difference too. So this simple little natural product has made a giant difference in my skin, and I encourage you to give it a try. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me comments below. Let me know if you've ever tried almond oil and if you love it, or maybe you've tried it and it didn't work for you. Please like and subscribe if you like this content, and have a beautiful day.